you all for being here. Commissioners, members of the public, thank you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. So moving on to agenda item number 2, approval of the minutes. The minutes from the July meeting have been distributed and read. Are there any noted corrections to the July minutes?
No, I second that we can approve it.
Okay, so I motion to approve the minutes. Can I get a second? Thank you, Rob. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed, say nay. All right, the minutes are approved. Thank you again, Betsy. Batting 1,000. All right. Okay, staying on agenda item number 2, a quick look at the Bloomington Arts Commission financials.
Hello, everyone. So guess what? We got the Arts Project grant money out the door. Woo, we're so excited. So in total, between our BUEA funds, our Bloomington Urban Enterprise Zone funds, and our BAC general funds for grants, we spent a total of $62,983 on our Arts Project grant cycle. That leaves us with a grand total of $104,554 left for our remaining 2 cycles, which include the Artistic Advancement Grants, which we've already done those reviews, and we're going to ask for approval for those later in tonight's meeting. And then we'll also have our operations grant cycle, which opened on Monday. So again, overall for those remaining 2 cycles, we have $104,554 to spend. We've got a couple other buckets of money. We have $5,000 in our Emerging Artist Professional Development Fund. So again, as you know, we've already done some professional development workshops this year, but we funded those with funds encumbered from last year. So we've still got $5,000 to spend on those. I know Christina and Chaz have some great programs that they're going to be doing in the fall where we'll start spending this money. We still have that $16,500 to spend on public art projects, and the conversation about how we will strategically spend those funds will happen in the public arts subcommittee meeting. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, great. Thank you, Holly. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 3, city updates. Okay, so this part of the meeting is going to look a little bit different than it normally does. First, we're going to hear from Natalie Almanza, and then we're going to hear from Jane Cooper-Smith, Director of the Department of Economic and Sustainable Development at the city. After Jane speaks, we'll open things up for questions from the commissioners. It's great to see so many members of the public here. We do ask that comments or questions be shared at the public comment section kind of toward the end of the meeting. And we encourage you to stick around and ask questions and comments then. And then we will end this agenda item with remarks from Holly. So with that, Natalie.
Can I sit up there or should I stand over here? What works?
Whatever you want.
I want to note 2 things. I also want to note that we have someone from legal team, awesome Audrey Brightenham, who will help us discuss municipal code just so we make sure that we're not confusing you more. I also just got a note from the chat that they can't hear us online.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna, it might be, you know what?
It might be the audio.
I think that's probably what it is. That's generally what it is.
It usually is that.
Okay.
Natalie, do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audio settings, no. Hello? Oh, yeah, that is.
Maybe try switching to the other input. Yeah, I know it's technically the same thing, but
I think she has to switch it under microphone though, right?
yeah.
Tell me, say that one more time.
Sorry, on the microphone. Yeah.
Under microphone.
Great.
Oh. Okay, can you hear us now?
Try testing this one, because I don't think we tried testing.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, you all. I'm gonna go knock on text her. I'll be right back.
Sounds
Yeah.
Should we proceed or just, no, we're gonna pause.
We're pausing. Cool. That's fine.
Yes, sir.
No, that works.
that makes sense.
Glad you're here.
Thanks for having me. Yes. The weather like.
Yeah.
So your brother's playing in,
Oh, are they?
It's on the Venice Green. Oh, yeah.
tiny little, the Acorn Theater, do you know that one?
I've been to 3.
I can either turn audio on my laptop, or we can figure out how to restart the owl.
Holly, I think restarting the owl is good.
Okay.
Okay.
If anybody has ever done that
There's a
before.
button, I've never done it, and I'm the least tech savvy person.
Okay.
Well, let me
It's
have
also,
it.
are we gonna? Yeah.
Do we need to move the tables?
Yeah, or.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
engineers.
Yeah.
Sounds like ready.
Yeah.
You guys are pets and table strong.
Fording the Red Sea.
Sorry, guys. It's good.
This feels like
Anybody?
a metaphor.
It has, right? Can you say an album later to me? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That feels like.
That's for you.
Yeah.
Does that do something?
Like I heard it deep.
But it doesn't change the, I'm sorry, this seems like oh, there's the power button. Okay, we got this.
Could be something on their end that are trying to.
It's multiple people who can't hear,
Oh.
yeah.
Trying to
We're also not
reset
seeing
it,
ourselves. in
and
a
it's
little
just
bit.
not,
Oh, yeah, we're also not. Oh, well, that's.
you said I don't see anybody up there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's,
This is really frustrating. Sorry,
Oh,
this is
we're on
something.
that one.
Here we are.
oh. Can you hear us now?
I don't see any.
There's a great angle of me
little
on the
mic
screen.
isn't
Can you shut the
jiggling.
video off, Holly?
I'm so sorry, yeah.
No, you're fine. I just don't want the public to have to.
Yeah.
Audrey, can you run see if anybody's in ESD right now?
Yeah. Also, do you have Rick's phone number? Because his light looks like it's on.
Okay.
It's just
Oh,
like
okay,
the-
great, his door is locked, okay, thank you for your patience.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
This would happen when we have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know.
It always works. Your art of
Yeah, that's actually, yeah.
Thanks for coming. Bloomington, what was it titled? You're disappointed, huh?
Yeah.
Really great, it was fun. Did you get over to that,
Yeah, man.
see anything
Of all times.
It's an IU alum that's.
Oh, it was the little symbol that's on the bottom left corner of Bloomington Arts Commission. Is that a microphone?
That's me as co-host, yeah.
Thank you. I looked at it a couple times. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
James McComa?
Internet is saying, I don't know. Unplug it for
We could
10
also,
seconds, but
I
don't see
mean,
where it's- I don't know what it does.
Yeah, I think a couple other options, I can just restart the meeting,
Yeah. Might as well at this point.
yeah.
I'm not gonna know, but-
That's true, we can do that.
Yeah, we could also, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, when Audrey's out, when Audrey comes back, we can ask her what we
This is San
can legally do
Francisco.
too.
Okay, yeah, because I
I've never
think,
met him when he
yeah,
was here.
because I mean, we could just run audio through my laptop, like, it wouldn't, we could see that, and I can turn on, I know it's not gonna be perfect, but I can turn on captions as well.
This is stuff with wax, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
These ones.
Oh. But I think I am gonna go ahead and restart the meeting.
Yeah, see if it works.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, but Anna D said that Kelly came looking for you, Jane, like 10 minutes ago. I don't know if you have Kelly's phone number.
Katz, is it better for us to leave the tables where they are?
If someone is going to be up there, then we can just leave them.
Okay.
That's fine. Either way.
I'm gonna run the gauntlet.
Okay.
I'll touch your stuff.
You're very versatile.
Not very helpful there.
Try testing the speakers.
Hello.
Hello. Oh.
Testing.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
No. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, folks, yeah, maybe you're.
Hello.
Can we join? How would we?
Someone just
No,
has
no,
to
don't
call.
join by phone.
Don't join by phone. Okay.
So,
Hmm.
what happens,
Okay.
so you tested it and it didn't,
Yeah, it didn't register it.
so try switching to computer, your other, so try to select another mic.
Hello. 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 Nope.
And it doesn't give you the,
No, it doesn't.
sorry guys, we had IT before the meeting started.
Yeah.
I think we thought
Yeah.
it was fine.
At this point, I just restart the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be. Yeah,
Let's see. Thank you again for your patience.
Must have the live option.
Do we have, how many people sit on the board, on the commission? Like even the vacant seats?
There are 11.
11,
Yeah.
including all the vacant seats.
Yes.
And is everyone, how many people are here
Currently, we have 8 people here.
in the room?
Yes, 8 commissioners in the room.
I'm gonna double check with Margie, but I think we can move forward.
Okay.
Anyways, if we have quorum in the room.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely have quorum in the room. Yeah.
And then we have Katz.
Yeah, the folks joining online are members of the public.
Margie agreed with me, we can move forward with the meeting.
Okay.
Would you like for us, she said, do you want me to try to get ITS for us? She might
I
be
would,
all right.
I would love for that to happen. And I also wonder, is there an option for me to play audio through, because I'm also logged in as the BAC, I'm a co-host, so I could potentially turn the audio on my laptop so they can hear that way.
We can try that.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's fine, and I understand it might be better than nothing, but it's gonna be difficult for them to hear and for us to hear them.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Everybody don't look at my password.
Can you do that again, please?
I'm gonna have to. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing so great tonight. Okay.
You're doing great.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to be helpful.
Okay.
Whatever.
What did you, wait, okay, thank you, okay. Oh my goodness. Do y'all have it memorized yet? Okay.
It's important, but.
It's at least cute, right? Okay.
After this.
Okay, I want to ask one more question because I do want to communicate to the folks who are trying to communicate publicly. I do anticipate that folks that are joining virtually are going to want to share public feedback during the comment section. Would it be best to ask them to type their notes now in the chat, or should we ask them to follow up via email? I just want to make sure that they have an ability to share their opinions.
If they want to ask their question via chat, I think that's entirely reasonable, like if
Okay.
it's easier given the technological situation, if
Okay.
this doesn't work.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest. And
Okay.
if we have problems with that still,
Mhm.
I think they can ask a question via
Okay.
email.
Okay, okay, great, thank you. Okay. Oh, let me put these folks in. All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear us now? Okay. No. Okay. I'm just going to try to unmute my speaker on my laptop.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you might need to mute it
Yes.
up there.
Thank you. Okay. No.
So if you actually join in my phone, it won't do that.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
If you join in my phone, it won't do that. So
Okay.
The sound will come out of the speakers, and you talking will just go to the phone.
Okay.
Betsy, I look forward to this right up in the minutes.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
how?
Okay.
Is anyone else? Do I have to?
Right.
No. Yeah.
So by joining my phone, when you go to the audio settings, there's an option to join my
Okay.
phone.
But Devin, doesn't the echo mean there's double audio, and so it means the owl is functional in some way, and there's a red light on the owl now.
Right.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Switching the input again.
Ooh, it's red.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's new. Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's muted.
It does.
Well, that made it. Oh, it did not.
See, she took the
Oh.
audio.
Can you shut your, can you manually shut off
Yeah,
your
it's
audio?
still- that's what I'm.
Was it when you pressed down? It was probably on.
Okay.
Unmute yourself.
How about now?
Yay.
Yay.
Oh,
Hello?
Yeah.
I just have to make the owl jealous.
All right. Everyone, thank you so much for your patience. We know where Holly needs professional development. Okay. Again, for everyone in the room, I'm going to record the meeting, so I'm going to do that now.
Yeah. I'll also note to the folks who are online listening in.
Recording in progress.
Thank you for being here. If you have any questions or comments that you want to make, there is going to be a public comment section that falls sort of toward the end of the meeting, and we would love to hear your question or comment during that time. Thank you. Natalie, or are you ready for Natalie to?
Yes.
I feel like that was a really big build-up to what, and so now I feel an immense amount of pressure to live up to that. I'm just gonna go for it. I just want to give a brief overview to everybody here of just the events that led to my removal from the Arts Commission, and I really thank you all for being here and for taking the time, and commissioners included in that. So last Tuesday, I was asked to resign from the Bloomington Arts Commission just due to an anonymous e-report filing stating that, quote, the chair of the Arts Commission did not live within, quote, city limits, which is in violation of City Ordinance Section C820C. I'm probably gonna, the amount of times I say that is, I'm hoping that I'm just saying that correctly. But the e-report states, quote, there are many good applicants for other commissions who are denied because they are not claiming voter registration at alternate family member address in city limits, which I believe assumes malice when unfortunately administrative error is far likelier. I served as the mayoral appointment to the BAC, and I was appointed twice, once by former Mayor John Hamilton in 2021, and then again in 2024 by Mayor Carrie Thompson. And during my time on the commission, I served as secretary and then later chair of Public Art Subcommittee, but not chair of the Bloomington Arts Commission, as stated in the U-report filing. It's a small but I think important distinction. And after I was asked to resign, I submitted a response to this request where I just explained that I disclosed my address several times to the city. I did my due diligence and I operated in good faith. When I was appointed in 2021, I disclosed my address and was told I was eligible to participate in the commission via a pre-appointment phone interview. And then in April of 2021, I purchased a home in Bloomington where I currently reside. And while I love this house, it was the one that I could afford. That was probably the main reason that I chose it. And once my move was finalized, I updated the city of Bloomington with my new address and confirmed again that I would be able to participate in the commission. In December of 2024, I filled out my commissioner application form to be reappointed on the City of Bloomington website, where I reported my current address and affirmed that I lived within city limits because I was told multiple times by city staff that my residence met the eligibility requirements to serve on a commission. And in the past 3 years, I've also received official city communications to these addresses. And upon reviewing the Bloomington Municipal Code, Section 2823, I just believe that dismissal based on living outside of the Bloomington city limits was invalid due to ill-defined and insufficiently documented protocol throughout the boards and commission appointment process and within the municipal code. Bloomington Municipal Code states for the executive branch and the city's boards, commissions, and councils, the following general provisions apply unless otherwise specified. And Section 3 of that is residential requirement. All appointments to city boards, commissions, and councils shall be made from residents of the city, except those positions that are directed otherwise. And in the Bloomington Municipal Code, city is defined kind of vaguely. In my opinion, the city, as defined by the code, means the city of Bloomington, Indiana, or the area within the territorial city limits of the city of Bloomington and such territory outside of the city over which the city has jurisdiction or control by virtue of any constitutional provisions or any law. I'm done reading I'm done reading code. According to the above definition, I think that I'm a resident of the city. And until an anonymous e-report filing prompted investigation, the city of Bloomington consistently validated that and validated my residency in relation to commission service eligibility. And as of last week, city limits and resident of the city are not defined on the boards and commissions information pages, the boards and commission application form, in the Bloomington Municipal Code in relation to commissions, and in the onboard Bloomington Arts Commission eligibility requirements. In fact, there's no clear indication of the city limits impact on an applicant's eligibility anywhere in this process. So after requesting this issue be reconsidered, I was removed from the Bloomington Arts Commission via email. And as I know from my peers at this table, this is much more than a simple volunteer position for me. I'm really passionate about uplifting my fellow community members through the arts, and it really has been an honor serving alongside you guys. And while it doesn't feel like it at the moment, I do know that I'm undoubtedly part of the Bloomington arts community and the Bloomington community at large, because my passion for creating accessible pathways to the arts for all Bloomington residents defies boundaries. But with that said, I'm not asking to be reinstated, as I've been told that is near impossible, but I am asking for the city to be transparent in this process and to display residency requirements throughout the process for prospective applicants, so this does not upend any future commission work. And I have no doubt that you all will continue to do great work, whether I'm at the table or not, and I'm happy to help make this process, as easy as I can. But yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks.
I just want to commend you, Natalie, not just for your service, which I will do at length in a bit, but I just want to thank you for upholding your role as a commissioner. Even when you're not as a commissioner, you're asking questions, you're asking for transparency, and I think these are values that everyone here at the city wants to embody, so we really appreciate these recommendations. But we also invited Jane Cooper-Smith, who is our great Director of Economic and Sustainable Development, and Audrey Brightenham, who is our legal representative, who's also amazing, just to help outline some of the questions about the municipal code. So I'm wondering if one of you would be comfortable just sharing overall your interpretation of the municipal code, and then we'd like just to answer, open it up to.
I'll jump in.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I just want to take space here to thank Natalie and say, we being like me personally, Jane, and then also the administration is really disappointed in this outcome as well, because we know, the mayor knows, the deputy mayor knows who you are and what you have brought to the table, and that you've been part of the team that has really helped advance artistic excellence in Bloomington. And it's really changed, you all as a group have changed the shape of what has been happening in our community, and it's evident through the quality of what's happening in our public art spaces and in our gatherings for artists. So there's really nothing but gratitude. There is certainly no question of ethics or obfuscation, or there's just that's not what's at play here. It simply wasn't. I think when the administration came in 2024, they were excited to extend an offer, and I think that it was not evident, to your point, that there were some administrative, I think you said administrative error. Yeah, an administrative error and an inadequate process. Since the time that you were appointed in 2024, there have been substantial changes to the way that boards and commission appointments are handled internally, and I would say that there's a lot more attention being paid to that. So I also heard some requests for greater transparency in our communications about that, and so I think that's very reasonable. And I don't think there's a lot more to say about that. The legal interpretation is that an address is in city limits or not. It can be looked up in our My Bloomington page, which you can look address by address. There are maps, and it's just very cut and dry for this administration. The previous administration may have approached it with a more liberal interpretation, and so that change would be difficult, I think, to deal with. So I don't really want to spend time on that. I'd rather focus on just kind of acknowledging the time that you've put in and the great benefits that we've experienced as a community for it. So thank you for that. And I'm happy to take questions, but again, I feel like this is actually quite unfortunately cut and dry, and just a great disappointment to all of us at City Hall.
Do any of the commissioners have questions?
I have a comment.
Oh, go ahead, Betsy.
Oh, I just want to know, what other commissions have been impacted by this? Are there others?
I don't know, I'm involved only in the commissions that ESD supports, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not really sure who else. I mean, the information that I've received, I guess secondhand, is that, the person who filed the U reports says that other people were removed from their commissions for the same reason. That's probably accurate, that if an address was revealed to be outside of city limits, then they would be removed. There are no exceptions to this rule for this current administration, so
Okay.
that would make sense to me. What was your?
With the interpretation being what it is, are we open to having county representatives on some of these boards so they have a voice, because they are a big part?
There are certain boards and commissions that have county representation, like the Economic Development Commission, for example. That's called for by state statute. So I don't know, Audrey, that would have to be something that the bylaws require. And that would be something that I think you'd want to think about as a commission. Part of what you're doing is deploying city tax dollars. And so what happens when there's county representation in that? For the Economic Development Commission, the reason they have county representation is because there are county impacts to the decisions that they make on that commission.
I agree completely with Jane. I don't think anyone wanted this, and that's what I've heard and received even in the legal department. And so I am really sorry about this. I will say that several of us have looked at this since, and we don't think there is even really room for interpretation, and I truly can't speak to the prior administration as to what their process was. I can tell you internally, one of the things that this and other things have affected is that myself, another attorney, and the clerk's office are trying to work on a more thorough process for all boards and commissions, which includes things like required trainings and more information for people with onboarding, but it would include, I think, capturing some of this. But I also know that changes have already been made to try to make sure that this hasn't happened and isn't continuing to happen. For new appointees, yeah. I can also tell you in general, so under the legal code, I know you brought up the definition of city, which I thank you for, because I've literally never seen that, and I had to go talk to other people in the department about it, because I'm reading it and I'm like, I have no idea what area outside of the city we would have constitutional or legal jurisdiction over. I've never heard that. And I found out, Margie told me that until 1997, we had what was called a 2-mile buffer. And it was essentially a proposed annexation period 2 miles outside of the drawn city limits. And there was an interlocal agreement with the county regarding how things operated in that buffer. I don't know the details more than that, but that code provision hasn't been updated since the 70s. It's probably ripe for updating. And my understanding is that that is meant to address the buffer that went away in 1997, I believe. So our reading even with the definition of city that you pointed out, the code is very clear, and I don't think there's much space for interpretation, which means there's no space really for exceptions if our code reads pretty strictly that you have to be a resident of the city and within city limits.
And I think that could be easily added to the application form, like if there was just a link to the map that the city uses, where folks could just type in their address, and just also stating there what that, because it doesn't say like if you do not live in city. I mean, you have to kind of dig for that. But if the form just said like, by the way, if you don't live here, here.
Sure. I think something that is obvious to those of us who are maybe in this room sitting at this table, but I'll just say it so that it's clear for the record. It isn't by a map, it isn't, or like by your lived life, your lived day-to-day life, it's not always obvious what is in and outside of city limits. We have donut holes in the city that are not annexed areas, and then we have very jagged boundaries. And so this question seems like it should be very straightforward, but this is why I think it comes up.
It does, and I agree, and I'm happy to send an email to, I don't run those pages, but to the people who run those pages to see if there's something we can put up at least on the landing page where you apply. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll add, Bloomington's a pretty transient community. I mean, people move, some people move every year, so.
Yeah,
If it's gonna be enforced, then.
And it is, and it should be enforced, but I agree. I think that that's something, it is difficult. We have so many boards and commissions and so many members. It's hard for people to track internally, but I think it's one of the things that we hope to include in essentially required annual training. The code's written such that the onus is actually on the member to recuse themselves if they move outside of city limits and remove themselves from the commission. But again, that's something that we're hoping that annual required training will help address.
Always happy for questions via email and, any other format if they come up.
Thank you. I am sorry.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for being here because I do think there was just, I feel like both amongst the commissioners but also amongst the public when folks found out about this of like why. So I think this is just really helpful in helping them understand that. So thank you.
And I am very optimistic that we'll find many other ways to engage in arts.
Cool. All right. Okay, thanks. Now I'm going to say nice things about you. Okay, so I just since we hope you continue to join us as a member of the public and on many public stakeholder selection committees going forward, both with our grants and our public art processes. I just want to acknowledge everything that you've accomplished thus far. You've accomplished multiple tubular public art projects, including Fleeting and the upcoming Undulate by John Rasick. You were a beacon of hospitality when Stefan Reese was here with OT987. You strengthened our relationship with amazing regional arts partners, including people like Could Be Design, who now have an unbreakable bond with this city because of you. They see Bloomington as a beacon of progress when it comes to public art design. Thank you for that. You've strengthened our relationship with Exhibit Columbus, and you've served as a powerful advocate as an early career artist who is committing to staying here and making things better for your peers. I will never forget your remarks at our 2024 just public art panel about what we need. You had such amazing things to say. Beyond this, Girls Rock. You were president of Gallery Rock, an amazing administrator at IU Arts and Humanities. You went to me with Brown County this morning and advocated for why Bloomington needs to be included in cultural planning for this entire district, all while getting an arts administration degree. I don't think you sleep. Please tell me your secrets. So I just want to say, Natalie, regardless of if you are a member of the public or a member of our commission, you are a powerhouse in public art, not just in this community, but for this region, and you're going to go on to do amazing things. Sorry for being choked up, but thank you so much for your service.
Thanks, Holly.
And thanks everyone for bearing with me being all choked up.
Thank you, Ollie.
Okay.
Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Natalie. I'll let that be the last word because she said it better than we could. But
That's fair.
we all feel the same way.
Thanks.
Thank you, Natalie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll go back and sit in my little public arts. I will leave the big tables.
Would you like to walk through?
Would you like to or dance? I mean, the soul train.
No, we can do a high five line.
Yeah. Bridge.
A little wait.
Oh, man. Okay, well, agenda item number 4 is an update on the Public Arts Subcommittee. We are going to postpone any updates. Holly and I will be in touch with the next meeting time to that subcommittee where we will discuss the projects that we're working on and also leadership for the subcommittee. We'll now turn to agenda item number 5, an update from the grant subcommittee. Layla?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, it's really hard work being a committee chair. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and for someone like me, I get a lot of instant gratification doing 3 cycles a year. Someone like Natalie has to see projects over multiple years, different political administrations. It's really admirable work and incredibly challenging. I am personally very annoyed by the city's officious and pedantic attitude towards these matters. It, I think, will ultimately undercut their ability to serve the public, but that is my personal opinion. As the grants chair, we have a few things to bring up. We're doing this one first?
No.
Okay. So we just finished the Artistic Advancements Grants review cycle. Thank you for everyone who committed many, many hours to reading those grants, reviewing them, discussing them. The conversation was always, was great as always. It was extremely enlightening, really rigorous. I just really value those days with everyone who participates. This was an especially challenging cycle. We had, as far as I can count, just over 100 valid applications. This is the most applications we've ever received for any grant cycle historically. And that's coming off of some other pretty hefty cycles. The total amount requested from the artists in this community was $179,704.92. So, I mean, that alone would blow our annual budget. So we were able to, with deliberation, fund $68,000, or propose to fund $68,500. Do you want to pull that up if you can, or? Yeah. So while that's only 38% of the amount requested, it is 55, almost 56% of the applicants, which is really strong, again, given how many applicants we had. Awards ranged from the full cap $2,000 all the way down to some awards of $500 that were just based on the ask and the capacity and the merit of the project. So I've pre-circulated this, maybe not that one. There's another tab, maybe. I'd rather not have our notes out like that.
Yes, I know, sorry.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
I mean, they're not embarrassing. They're just, you know, and those meetings are public. So these are the awards suggested, and this is, I believe, a committee vote for just the grants committee, right? So that's Gerard, myself, Paul, Betsy, and Nada, right? Any questions about this from the whole commission? I realize it's a lot. General questions about this cycle at all, or comments?
Great job, everyone.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
Cheez-Its. I still have a lot of Cheez-Its in them. Yeah, no, thank you. It was a really great, high quality, I think really great session. So all of those who I just mentioned in favor of this, aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Cool. Great, that's unanimous, excellent. Thank you all. We will remand those recommendations to the city, or however that sounds most official. The other item that has come to our attention in our enduring quest for transparency is that the grant cycle previous to this, the Arts Projects Grant, one of the proposed awards went to a group called Off Night Productions. They do, Holly, what did they do? I don't remember.
So this is an all-female run, like early career theater company, and they are called Off Nights because they try to do their productions during the week. So folks who are active in the industry who might be working on other productions on the weekend can participate in these and go see them. Yeah, and they are doing awesome work in the community. They just wrapped a show at the Waldron Arts Center last night. Yeah.
So the person who represents that application, and I think the person who applied is a person named Aubrey Cedar.
Cedar,
And they are a city employee. They are a community and family resources office manager / program assistant. So in the spirit and the code of Indiana 3544.1-1-4, as you could see there, we need to approve this or make it known. or
Yes,
something.
we need to have the same grant commission just approve that they are comfortable.
Yes.
And I think we had a conversation about the fact that this person was an employee during the grant review process, but what I was informed of is that we also have to do it in a public full commission meeting for it to be official. And so after we approve it, it will be sent up to the mayor's office, who will sign off on it, and then it will just be sent up to the state legislature, so if we ever get audited, we don't get in trouble for this.
Great. Sounds fun. All right, so anyone at all in favor of this? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I move that we approve it.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. Sorry, I don't
Second that.
Yeah. You think I know this all from high school debate. I don't remember Robert's rules at all.
This is Rob's rules of
Yeah,
order.
it is. Yeah, very funny, Rob. Yeah, okay, so all in favor? Yeah, okay, great, cool.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Last thing on grants is operations just opened. The fund never stops. These are grants of up to $5,000 to our local 501c3s who have arts as a core part of their mission. That is a 501c3, not a nonprofit. You need to be a 501c3. Let's just put it this way. And in the spirit of accountability, we are also asking for IRS determination letters to prove that this time. Saves me from going into the IRS database. So just tell your friends and everyone about it. And if you're on the committee, look forward to more details about organizing around that. That will be my last season as grants chair, because I will have served my full 6 years by the end of January. So just a reminder about that. And that's all, unless anyone has questions. Cool, all right.
Thanks.
Thank you for your good work.
Yeah.
Great,
Yes,
yeah,
thanks.
cool. All right, that's all.
Yeah, thank you, Layla. Okay, agenda item number 6, notes from the chair. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I have a lot to add to what was said in agenda item number 3, though I will encourage members of the public, if during that section's coming up, if you would like to make comments or ask questions, we encourage that. A reminder that to hold or to keep in your notes, Commissioners, September 12th through 14th is when Suzanne is coming back to town, and we were not able to give her sort of a farewell send-off, and so it'd be nice to get together and see her and wish her well, as she is now in New York. So yeah, I mean, between Natalie and Suzanne and some other folks, we're going to cycle off. Another reminder that there will be some vacancies. There are currently some vacancies, and there will be more vacancies coming up. So greatly encourage folks to reach out to those who think would be a good fit, and to encourage them to apply. Those are all the notes that I have.
Thank you for organizing a celebration party.
Okay, moving on to, yeah, all right, any other questions for me? Comments about that? Okay, moving on to agenda item number 7, upcoming events and important dates.
Looks like we need
Yeah,
to update it.
looks like we need to update the job.
Yeah. First Thursday.
All of us are in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're done.
Arts,
Yeah.
it's done. We did it.
We're all going to law school.
I believe, isn't this weekend there's one of the, at the Bad News store? Isn't there one of those?
Oh, there is. There's a, yeah.
There's one of those I forget what they're
Markets.
called. Events, community arts
Yes,
events.
experimental arts fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in 3 weeks and a day. The first Thursdays of the fall semester will be taking place out on the Fine Arts Plaza. I guess
Bethany Habeger's show. She is a 2-time Artistic Advancement Award-winning grant recipient. Her show is up at the Waldron currently. Exhibit Columbus is their kickoff is this weekend. I think a cohort of us are going over to steal cool ideas. And
could you say something quickly about the review sessions or the feedback sessions that are going on currently?
Oh, sure. So one thing that I've been heavily involved with, and an awesome cohort of Bloomington artists accompanied me to today is there is a statewide grant now called Ready 2.0. So Ready 2.0, the first iteration of Ready was funds for Indiana communities to recover from COVID. And that was super successful. Bloomington got some great funds for that to help develop the Hopewell district, for example. About 18 months ago, I believe that's when they announced Ready 2.0. So it was just like the next phase of that. But one of the specific sections that they included, because they got additional funding from the Lilly Foundation, who does a lot of arts and placemaking funding, was Arts and Culture Sticks and Bricks. So there is a specific fund of money available to all 11 districts in Indiana to give out awards to basically build out or build new arts facilities. So there was initial application phase that was open for this during the second half of 2024, and then Lilly was like, oh, holy cow. Like, we need to work with all of these districts who have been empowered to award large amounts of money to make sure that they are doing it in a strategic manner. So they paired each district, we are part of the Uplands district, with an arts consulting group to go out through these large districts and just figure out what resources already existed and what resources are still needed. So those consultants are in our county now, and they're doing a series of listening sessions they've kind of broken things into 3 broad categories. One is fine craft. We have questions. One is performing arts and one is music. So they are visiting venues and just taking meetings with groups of stakeholders and getting as much feedback as possible. That's what we're doing, and I think what that means is at the end of the year there will be a plan, and then we will all be invited during the first quarter of 2026 to apply for those funds. I've already put in an application before they kind of paused the process to help fund our artist studio space. I can't commit to anything officially. We've been strongly encouraged to do this. I think we have a lot of traction. So we will most likely resubmit that application during the first quarter of 26. But as this cultural plan comes together and is shared publicly, I will definitely share it with the BAC, because I think we'll all want to look at it together and just make sure that the application the city puts in and applications other arts entity, both in the city of Bloomington but also the county, and then the surrounding counties that are part of the Upland districts, are just capturing what we truly feel are the needs. We just want to really make sure that we're getting the funds for the correct things for our amazing artist community here. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for going into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other events of note or important dates that folks want to shout out?
It's pretty slow time of year.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 8, commissioner announcements. Would any commissioners like to make any announcements? Okay, moving on to agenda item number 9, public comment section. Would any members of the public like to make any comments or ask any questions in this, both online and in person?
Hello everyone, my name is Katarina Kaw. I'm the Executive Director of the Lotus Education Arts Foundation. Happy to be here today and see you all. Just a couple things. There is a market experiment coming up this weekend, but next weekend is Pride Fest, and following that is the 4th Street Art Fair, and then a couple weeks after that is Lotus Fest. So,
Which ones are in August?
In August is Pride Fest,
Okay.
and then starting September is of course the end of August is 4th Street Art Fair. Also, so Lotus Fest is coming up in September 25th through the 28th, and we need volunteers. So our volunteer application is open. Tickets will go on sale at the end of this week. And so we're really looking forward to a great year, a really great lineup coming in. I think in terms of, I also wanted to be here to as a representative of public art in Bloomington, and my interactions with Natalie Almanza through public art have been really incredible. She supported Lotus through Gallery Walk and through the IU Public Arts and Humanities, and I believe also on this commission. So I'm really grateful to your work on this commission and everything that you brought to Bloomington. In some of the things that you noted, and Holly, you mentioned about your speech at in 2024 when we were talking about the arts in Bloomington, and like this desire for young people, but also it's not really about age, it's about brain drain. It's like keeping talented people in this community so that they're not just leaving out towards cities where there's a lot more opportunities, there's a lot more housing opportunities, there's a lot more income opportunities. And there's a lot of big issues in Bloomington, and like big issues that affect a lot of people. And the as Lila, as you said it, the pedantics of boundaries is very, it's like unsightly right now. It's like the PR of that is, it's really off. So, and the values that I think that are important to have on this board. So honestly, I think it's a really great opportunity for the commission to consider what Jane Cooper-Smith mentioned, which was how do you incorporate people who are outside of those city boundaries, and when you're using taxpayer dollars, I know there's a little bit of a balance there, but I do think that the arts in Bloomington affect more than just people who are within the city boundaries. And if we're thinking about arts being accessible to more than just people who can afford to live within city boundaries, I think that's really important. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any comments from online?
Oh, Reagan, if you're trying to speak, you're unmuted. Or you're muted.
Sorry.
Okay, cool.
My name is Reagan Sandberg. I'm an attorney. I'm here in my personal capacity, not in the capacity with my job. I was one of the resident assistants for Natalie in the Civic Leaders Center. Even from the time that she was a college student, she was doing amazing things for the arts. I'm trying not to get upset, but I'm shaking. I'm so mad right now about what has happened to her. And I think just hearing some of the rhetoric that's been used in this meeting, I'm really disappointed. I've heard people saying that this is difficult to deal with. And I agree, this is very difficult to deal with for Natalie. You've put her in a position where you have been okay with accepting her volunteer work for years until somebody makes a complaint. And somebody said, and I think it might have been one of the lawyers, that, Natalie, maybe we just don't know how this administration feels about this. Maybe this administration feels differently. Maybe this administration has done stuff differently. But this administration reappointed her. This administration reappointed her with this address. They reappointed her with that address, so the argument that this administration feels differently does not hold water. And if you're telling me that attorneys looking at this code I looked at this code. You're telling me that attorneys had to look at this code, had to then go ahead and look at city boundaries to figure out if this was actually a problem? That's a huge problem. Somebody said, I don't know how she sleeps. Yes, because she's doing so much. She's in school. She's volunteering. You look at the list of the places that she volunteers at, it's huge. I don't know how she has the time. So to take that and to say, I don't know how she sleeps because she's doing all of this stuff for our community, she's doing all of this amazing stuff, and then expect her to have the knowledge of an attorney, to have the knowledge of a zoning expert, to be able to take this law or this municipal code and put it against zoning is quite frankly ridiculous. To try and put the onus on her when attorneys didn't even originally know if this was a problem. They had to go and figure it out. That's such a huge issue. And the fact that this is one that cannot be easily remedied is disgusting. Natalie said that she bought this house. She likes it, but she bought it because she could afford it. This is not something that somebody can easily change. Somebody cannot just easily change their home dress. And the person before me said it perfectly. You are going to miss out on so much talent because you are creating a socioeconomic barrier. Whether you think that you are or you are not, you are creating a socioeconomic barrier. A house is not something that in this day and age, I don't even have a house, I rent. To have a house is something that is amazing. And it's not something that you would give up easily or quickly. And I'm just, as disappointed as I am for Natalie that this has happened to her, I'm even more disappointed for Bloomington. Because the things that Natalie could do with this position are amazing. The funds that she had access to were incredible. That was part of the reason why I'd be willing to go back to Bloomington. That's part of the reason why I would show up and talk to students. Because I know that when I would go there, it's not just Bloomington. There's great programs, there's great art. It's great to just walk around Bloomington. And to lose out on Natalie, I feel like is so disheartening. It's disgusting the way that it has happened. And I'm so disappointed. And I feel like people just keep talking about how great Natalie is. And she is. She's a great advocate. She's been a fantastic advocate. And it's disappointing and it's disgusting that she has been a great advocate and has been able to advocate with so many of you, but that when it's time for her to need an advocate, that the tone, the rhetoric, and the actions just are not lining up with what I would expect or hope to see. I really hope that in the future that this municipal code is looked at. I hope that the zoning codes are looked at, but at the very least, I expect for there to be more training. I expect for there to be less laziness and not putting the onus on a volunteer who is doing so much in her own free time. To sum it up, I'm just extraordinarily disappointed and disgusted. And that's to say it mildly. I really hope that there's a different decision. If not, I have to say that I know Natalie will be fine. I know Natalie will continue to do great things. I'm not worried about Natalie. But I'm very disappointed in what this is going to mean for Bloomington and arts in Bloomington. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Karen?
Thanks, Jordan. Disappointed that Jane and our legal rep hustled out so fast after they said what they had to say. Because there are two more points in the municipal code that I feel like they didn't address appropriately. The one part of the city definition that was talked about that should have been dropped off in 1997, is that really how long it's been since we've done anything with our municipal code? There's a third definition in here that just means the city of Bloomington, Indiana, which to me suggests anyone with a Bloomington address would mean the city of Bloomington, Indiana. Jane also said there that this is very cut and dry and there's no way around it. There's also a point in the municipal code that allows for a waiving of the city resident requirement if you have a city job. which means that there is a pathway to waive this requirement in specific cases. So I don't believe that it's as cut and dried as they're making it out to be, and I do think that they conveniently ignored the one definition of city that does include Natalie. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm the director of Girls Rock Bloomington, and I've worked with Natalie a lot. She's helped us so much. When I found out about it, I actually emailed the office of the mayor, and I was hoping to just talk to her. And I've never tried to email the mayor, but like, maybe this would work. Because it just seems so needlessly wasteful to me. So I haven't. I received an email back saying, we'll set something up, but I haven't heard from them. And it seems like the decision's being made, but I'm still sort of hoping not. But I just wanted to read an excerpt of what I wrote. I know you have so many concerns to attend to, and this probably seems very small, but I truly believe that Natalie represents everything this city should be prioritizing and protecting. Oh, now she is a Chicago transplant, a woman of color, a young professional who has stuck around after college and given an incredible amount of energy, love, time, and talent to Bloomington. Through her work with the BAC, Girls Rock Bloomington, the IU Arts and Humanities Council, Gallery Walk, and the Arts Alliance, she is seriously doing the hands-on work that makes Bloomington a place worth living. So,
agreed.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just so like emotional. But yeah, I just also want to say, like, I think everyone's handling it really well, especially Natalie. And I also feel like she deserves more than an apology. I think like she deserves a celebration, an award, a Natalie Day. I don't know. a new special position made just for her. Like, I think, yeah, something else needs to come out of this.
Thank you, Amy.
Hi, I'm Sarah Nichols. I'm the gallery manager at the Waldron Arts Center. I'm lucky enough to get to attend a meeting once a month with Natalie. This is my first arts administration position. I don't have a degree in this, which surprises some people. And I will say that when I started, it was intimidating, but Natalie was there and she worked to include me on things that probably didn't seem that big to her, but made a huge difference for me. Mm-hmm. And I think that everything has really kind of been said, right? This is a disservice to all of us, those who have addresses in the city and those who don't, because Natalie affects all of our lives. And so do all of you, right? But, what to say? I am beyond disappointed, and Natalie, thank you so much for what you've done and what you continue to do.
Hi, my name is Alan Bowley, and I've been a two-time Artistic Advancement Award winner, courtesy of the BAC. I also work with Natalie at Indiana University, the College Arts and Humanities Institute, in the same building, not the same center. But I found this whole thing to be really disheartening and confusing, and really would like to see clarity of what it means to have a Bloomington, Indiana address, because I realize that I also am not formally a resident of the city. I live in one of those donuts. However, I have a studio address in the city. I work in the city. Everything I do is in the city. If I drive like a minute in any direction of my apartment, which is one of the largest apartment complexes in the city, then I'm within the city, but just my apartment isn't. So I am really confused and would like to receive more clarity on what that means and what city eligibility means. I know I'm not the only person who's received a grant who technically doesn't live in the city. As a matter of fact, I saw my apartment address on the board earlier. So I'm just sitting here with so many question marks, like how did this happen? How are so many people who engage in this town and community not really part of this community? And I'm also disappointed that the legal rep left and isn't here to answer any of those questions. And I guess the question for the commission is like, what's your sense of what the Perry Township means? Like, what is that? Because there is no Perry Township. Like, who do we talk to? If I call 911, the city comes. City of Bloomington services come. So, what does that mean?
I will just say, I think that what has happened hopefully will open the door for all of us to get some ideas on county representation on boards where you have to live in the city. Maybe they can't be a voting member. Maybe they can still be a member somehow, some other avenue. So hopefully we can all be creative and figure out some ways to have the obvious voice that we need to have.
Yeah, I too have written to the mayor, and there's not enough time yet, I think, for her to have responded back. But there is something about the greater Bloomington community, which is particularly when you pour your heart and soul into the community, you earn your money in the community, and this mayor should know more than almost any other mayor in our past about affordable housing, and with her habitat background and so on. So my hope is that there could be some more compassionate insight into what Bloomington means and where its boundaries are.
Thanks, Alan. Any other comments or questions from the public? And is there anything from online?
Did we have any, I thought I saw some chats, but
Um,
I'm not sure.
Let me just double check, I think.
I'm not sure if there were any questions or just comments.
I'm not gonna lie, I was sort of expecting Lenny to have a song ready.
A song. I think the only question we got is like who at the city you could email to just express concern, make suggestions to code change, and I think the best place to start is Jane and Audrey, who are here, and myself. I will make sure that it gets into the right hands, and I appreciate everybody's feedback, and I think we're lucky to have an amazing note taker, so we've captured all of your comments, and we'll be able just to compile them and think about next best steps, because I think just since this has happened last week, I think just questions about what is city, what is not city, who is able to serve, who is taking advantage of these resources. There are just a lot of questions, and I think as members of the public and members of this commission, everybody deserves answers and transparency. That is one of the 4 tenets of this administration's mission, and I think, again, as members of the arts community, it is our job to ask tough questions and just make sure that you all as community members and commissioners are keeping myself as a city representative and the entire administration just honest. So, thank you. Great.
Okay, well, if there are no further comments or questions, I want to say again, thank you everyone for being here, both in person and online. I think unfortunately, I don't know how everyone else feels. I feel like I'm leaving with more questions than answers.
Maybe we're just getting started.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
it does feel like there's there's a lot more work to be done. And I mean, a lot of the things that I heard today were words like disappointing, unfair, and that's all true. I feel like there's this and some other things that have come up. I feel like there is, for all the great work that the commission's done, that Holly's done, that the art community are just done with the BAC and with the city. There does seem to be a growing loss of trust in how certain things are being handled, and I don't necessarily think that's because of anything that we have explicitly done, but I know that we're going to have to do a lot of the work to help rebuild that. And so again, thank you, Natalie, for delivering that today. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I please get a second? Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and meeting over.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.